Welcome everyone to Saturday Night Hype, and we have got two triple threat matches, both of which qualifying matches to determine who will be facing each other at ThanksGrappling V for the #1 contendership to KNUX XYZ Championship. I am the Sentinel. We begin our first of two with the Red SPD Ranger Jack Landers versus Frozone versus Bruce Lee, as all three of these competitors have had very different roads getting to this point. Frozone has been kind of treading water, as it were, since his return hasn't really broken much through in his comeback to CIW just a couple of months ago. Probably the most notable thing he's done was being a semi-finalist in the Best in the Business Battle Royal that ultimately the winner, Majin Buu, came out on top, but Frozone with a close second, almost surprised us all with a win there, but that doesn't mean that Frozone couldn't have won that matchup, just Majin Buu a little bit too much to handle, but this circumstance I think favors more into Frozone's strengths and capabilities than that matchup, because it's a triple threat match. There's a lot of high flying, there's a lot of aerodynamics involved with the circumstances revolving around the XYZ Championship, and here comes Bruce Lee, the former two-time CIW heavyweight champion, the world's champion, and that is the only belt that Bruce Lee has won in CIW, and that was a long time ago. It has really not been going very well for Bruce for quite some time since his return to CIW. You know, he picked a fight with Kratos at the GW Climax, and he got a count-out victory, and then Kratos hoofed him at Doomsday, and he's really just been on a losing streak ever since, and finally, and of the most recent time we saw him, I believe, was several weeks ago, maybe even months ago, as he had a match against Scorpion, who is in our matchup next time, and that was at Drummer's Call at Autumn Asylum, a match that Scorpion ended up winning. And here comes the Red Ranger, Jack Landers, who has been a huge shot in the arm for the SPD Rangers since his arrival here in the beginning of March of this year, as the SPD Rangers have been doing everything they can to re-image themselves after 10 years of mediocrity, and they've slowly but steadily worked themselves. They've gotten quite a number of wins, maybe more wins than they've ever had in a year's time since the Red Ranger has burst onto the scene, of course winning that same Drummer's Call. Back at Autumn Asylum Drummer's Call, the SPD Rangers all emerged victorious against Cold Rain and Souls, who have all been looking for their own little lanes to get to success themselves, as there's been a lot of issues going on with Cold Rain and Souls ever since that loss, as they cannot seem to handle the fact that they have lost to the SPD Rangers. This match is underway, Bruce Lee immediately leaving and letting Frozone and the Red Ranger go into it for themselves. A smart move by Bruce Lee, and now an octopus, and immediately Bruce Lee gets in to break it up. Referee Luke Goss assigned to this contest, as the winner of this match will face the winner of the following match. The matchup, our main event tonight, another triple threat match between Scorpion, Agent 47, and Ermac. And the winner of these two matches will face each other at ThanksGrappling V. And the winner of that match will be, and a nice double drop kick there from Frozone and Bruce Lee. A temporary alliance formed there, as Bruce Lee once again takes a powder, as Frozone taking his time to capitalize on the situation, but decides to let Red Ranger up. And I think the Frozone saw Bruce Lee taunting on the outside and said, "No, maybe I want to hit you." Bruce Lee did a late kick and left the ring, and clearly picking his spots and being a little chicken shit, as we know Bruce Lee has been ever since joining the Shaolin Combat Club. And now a double drop kick from the Red Ranger and Bruce, and again leaving the ring, as I don't know whether this is smart, arrogant, a dick move, or a combination of the three, but so far no one getting a definitive advantage here in this opening contest. A nice back suplex there. So the winner of this, these two will face off at ThanksGrappling, and the winner of that match, for the winners of these two on this night, will face Ken Masters at Oblivion for the XYZ Championship, as we are getting set now. A nice arm bar there, and really getting into it there with a kind of something of a key lock, and it's a third drop kick from Frozone to try and break that up, hitting the back of Bruce Lee, as Oblivion, December 26th, 27th, and 28th, basically right after the Christmas season. We've got Drummer's Call on the 20th, and a whole mess of matches leading up to that, but we're nowhere near there yet. We've still got ThanksGrappling to come to, which is November 27th, Thursday night, Thanksgiving night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You are not going to want to miss it. We've got a huge tag match main event we'll talk about in a couple weeks, as a lot has been going on in CIW, a lot of moving parts, and you are going to want to stay in the heat of the moment at all times, and the best way to do that is to make sure that you keep Luke Goss safe by liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, not necessarily in that order, and don't forget to switch that bell button to all to hashtag Save a Referee today. But you will also get to know what's going on in the life of Colonial Impact Wrestling on a regular basis, which is almost as rewarding as making sure Luke Goss doesn't die. Another octopus, no tap out there as Bruce Lee once again immediately breaking it up. These triple threat matches are so hard, you know, because not only do you have to incapacitate an opponent to where they can't answer a count of 3 and you pin their shoulders to the mat, but you have another man who could easily just change the direction, break up the pin. You know, it's hard to get somebody down for 3 seconds in a triple threat. And as evidenced by that carousel cover that Bruce Lee likes to do that didn't even get a 1 count. Because Jack Landers was right there. Oh, wait a minute. Game of death, and down goes the Red Ranger. Cover here, 1, and not even 1, as Frozone does exactly what has been done before and breaks up the count before Luke Goss could begin. Bruce Lee with the most championship credentials among these 3. I think Bruce Lee disconnected one of the turnbuckle pads, and as evidenced by Frozone writhing in pain, and a Landersteiner cover here, and not even a 1 count again as Bruce tried to capitalize on a huge top rope hurricanrana by the Red Ranger. Arm drag. Red Ranger probably has the size advantage, probably the power game the most, Frozone with the speed, and Bruce Lee the technique. Makes all 3 of these guys lethal in different ways, and a thumb to the mask window visor of the Red Ranger. And those thumbnail scratches, you know, it makes it a lot harder to see. I've lost a good number of sunglasses because they just got too scratched up because I was wearing them while I was working outside or something. You know, it happens. And now, oh, wait a second. What is Frozone doing here? Frozone up to the corner, and now a Frozone Steiner himself, and Bruce covers again. Bruce tried to cover on a Steiner again, and Frozone once again breaking up the count. As Bruce has tried to be as advantageous as he humanly can be in this matchup, and a knife-edge chop, and down goes Frozone. A lot of time spent on the outside by Bruce Lee, but it's been smart. He's been calculated. Every time a major move between one of the other 2, there's Bruce to try, at least, to capitalize on the situation. It's not an easy thing to do. But Frozone, what is Frozone doing here? He's got Red Ranger on the ropes, and this might be a heavy knee strike right into the neck and the chest. And a tough place to be in. And oh, back into that corner with the exposed turnbuckle again goes Frozone. And a nice dragon screw there from Bruce Lee. And oh, now a cover here on a dragon screw. 1, 2, and only 2, and a kick out there as Frozone has remained in the corner this entire time, and Bruce is starting to get hot at Luke. And that's what Bruce can't afford to do, is let his emotions get ahead of him. But that's what Bruce has done for so many years now, ever since this downturn, this dastardly downward spiral that Bruce Lee has been going through psychologically by joining the Elder God Liu Kang, being the former TAW Tag Team Champion in, you know, with the Shaolin Combat Club with Kung Lao. It's been a tough time to watch Bruce Lee just degenerate to this state. But could it change with an Exceeds Championship win? It sure could. It could translate to success. It already has translated to success. And I think that's probably the saddest thing about it. Oh, and now the Red Ranger being tossed, just completely tossed to the outside. And oh, Frozone went up to the top and Bruce Lee caught him. And that was an ugly landing by Frozone. And kick to the gut. And another game of death. This time the Frozone. The Red Ranger's on the outside. The cover. 1, 2, 3. And Bruce Lee, with a well-timed game of death, uses his wit and uses his cowardice to achieve victory here tonight and move on to ThanksGrappling but who will he face? We will find out in just a few moments as Bruce Lee wins the first Triple Threat XYZ Championship #1 Contenders Qualifier. Say that 5 times fast, Meltzy, as Bruce Lee finds a way to win. Despite the tactics, I hate the way he's been acting lately. I hate the way that he has manipulated people. I hate the way that he has just become such a selfish douche. But on this night, it works for Bruce Lee. Congratulations to Bruce, but now we find out who his opponent will be. Will it be Scorpion, Agent 47, or Ermac? Now, Scorpion and Ermac certainly no strangers. Those two had a matchup almost about this time last year that Scorpion ended up winning, I believe. But he running afoul of Cold Rain and Souls. That's kind of how Scorpion debuted, and that was towards the end of last year and the beginning of this year. As Ermac now looking to make a step out on his own. I think all 3 of the Cold Rain and Souls, Rain, Sub-Zero, and Ermac, are all looking to see maybe this tag team thing. It's not that it's a bad thing. We're still friends and we still have the same vision. But let's see if one of us can break the glass ceiling here. And I think that this is Ermac's chance, as Ermac hasn't had a title shot of any description since the opening pay-per-view of CIW. The very first massacre was when Ermac, or actually I guess the second one, I guess Doomsday of 2014 is when this man had hit that matchup. And that was when Satan won the belt, as Ermac was a #1 contender, and ever since then, he's lived a lovely life. He's got a great a partner, I guess is the most neutral way to call Elmo. He's got a lovely partner in Elmo. He's got 2 beautiful, mutant, disgusting kids in Ermo and Elmac. And I only say they're disgusting because they're not allowed to go to public school because they're scaring too many children. So they're trying to figure out some sort of like homeschool thing or get a private tutor. They're trying to ask us to do this. We're not going to finance that. But anyway, in any case, Ermac does it for the love of his children, no matter how grotesque in appearance and mute and unholy by union they might be. But this could be Ermac's opportunity to really make a change in his career and boost things in a tremendous way for the Mortal Kombat Ninja. And here comes Agent 47, who is one half of the Shades of Black with Riddick, who we have not seen since the GW Climax, when Riddick lost to Majin Buu back in the 2nd round back in May. And in the meantime, it's been Agent 47 and Evie Hammond who have been trying to make some sort of a mainstay here in CIW and remain somewhat relevant. Evie Hammond doing a pretty decent job of that on her own, or at least trying to. With a good win over Nina Sayers a couple of weeks ago. And now here comes Agent 47 looking to change some things in his own career. You know, he's the only member of the Shades of Black that hasn't won gold. Neo and Riddick, when they were a team, they won the tag titles twice. Agent 47 ended up getting into a loser leave CIW against Mr. Clean and lost. And ever since he's come back to CIW, he reunited the team of the Shades of Black back at the Revelation 2022, back when the Dark Alliance was taking on Satan's soldiers. And ever since, he has really been trying everything he can to make some sort of stand in CIW. But here comes Scorpion looking to do the same thing, as Scorpion first burst onto the scene in CIW back in 2015-2016 with the Jack Nation Red brand, which we won't get into too much. And it didn't really move or translate to anything of consequence. Scorpion reappeared as a mystery partner for Noob Smoke when they were taking on Cold Rain and Souls, and now we will see whether Scorpion can go one step further in his career and make his way one step closer to championship gold. His most notable victory in this time that he's been back has been against Bruce Lee, who we just saw won a few moments ago. If you're just joining us, we have got 2 triple threat matches here tonight. The first one by Bruce Lee. The second, we're going to find out the victor very soon. Those 2 men face each other at ThanksGrappling, and the winner of that match faces Ken Masters at Oblivion for the XYZ title. Here we go. It's referee Luke Goss here for the entirety of the night. We appreciate him being here. Appreciate you inviting us into your home as we begin our 3 to 4 week climb towards ThanksGrappling on Thanksgiving night, and a big double suplex there by Agent 47 and Ermac. Now Ermac with a flurry of right hands and strikes to Agent 47. Agent 47 with that deadly silencer. Ermac with Ermac's elbow, and of course the NetherRealm DDT. from Scorpion. One fall to a finish here in this triple threat contest. There are disqualifications, although there are no countouts. And folks, if there is a disqualification and this match ends in a DQ, then Bruce Lee will be automatically named the #1 contender for Ken Masters Championship because he will have no opponent to face, and none of us want that, so let's hope that that doesn't happen. Besides, all three of these guys will be fined, I believe, $150,000 each before they do that, because the Department of Promotional Efficiency is not dealing with screwy finishes. We're gonna make sure that we get paid because they decide to do shady stuff. We're not playing these games anymore. CIW is really trying to take a stand and clean things up, and a nice sidewalk slam there by Scorpion. All three of these guys would love nothing more. I mean, to become the XYZ champion for any one of these men would completely change the narrative of how they're regarded, and now a double ninja DDT as Scorpion and Ermac form a temporary alliance. And boy, that was temporary. A low blow to Scorpion, as Ermac was one of the sole survivors. Oh no, come on, Ermac. There's no need to hit Luke Goss. There's no need to hit Luke Goss. Oh, come on. Oh, no. Come on. I just said there were disqualifications. Don't do this. Oh, thank God. As Agent 47 stops Ermac from using the chair, it would result in a DQ if the referee was up. And again, there you go, 47. Don't let him. Oh, and a roll up. 47's got the tights. One and only one as Ermac gets back in there, and Ermac now... Ermac has been trying desperately to use this chair, and Agent 47 says, no, you will not be using weaponry on this evening. As that steel chair, like a smoking gun that has yet to be loaded or fired. But boy, there was an attempt. The pistol was cocked, but Agent 47 made sure that the hammer didn't drop, so to speak. And now testicular torture by Ermac as a result of not being able to play with the toys he wanted. And now a punch to the dick. Message sent. Scorpion getting his way back in. Now Scorpion gonna try and rain some close fist punches down on the skull of Ermac. Agent 47 understandably taking a moment as right hands, just raining down right hands as Scorpion. As all three of these guys, you know, we talked about the technique and all the three assets of all three individuals in the first matchup. This one's a little bit harder to gauge because all three of these guys are relatively equally matched. You might be able to say there's a size advantage for Agent 47, but if there is, it's slight. You know, I think that 47, his major thing is precision. You know, Ermac has got a lot going on, so the fact that he can, you know, he's trying to just calm the voices in his head. They counsel him and understand. They talk to him. But unlike Randy Orton, they are actual different people in his brain. Not too dissimilar from the way that Mr. Grimm was depicted in the Peacock Twisted Metal series, which if you haven't watched, it's worth watching. And now a punch to the dick from Ermac onto Agent 47. And oh, wait a minute. We know what this is. We've seen it more than once. As a matter of fact, Scorpion was on the receiving end of this once. It is Ermac's elbow. And down goes Agent 47. But, and Scorpion smartly going for the cover immediately after the fact. But that is what you need to do. You can't give Ermac that opening to capitalize on that. Very smart move there by Scorpion. As Scorpion now leaving the ring, all three of these guys, fighting for a spot on ThanksGrappling against Bruce Lee. Which one of these three men will emerge from Saturday Night Hype with the victory? We thank you all once again for coming here tonight. We will see you next week for a ladies match. It is Marl versus Black Cat. Marl from the Chrono Trigger series and Black Cat from the Keanu Connection and also from Spider-Man. As now Ermac is starting to get a little, oh no, a kitchen sink to Luke. Don't forget to save that referee today. And oh no, and that's why he did it. The kitchen sink to the referee and a chair shot to Agent 47, make it a pair, and hits them both in the same time in the skull. And Ermac has all of a sudden gained a very unfair advantage. As referee Luke Goss, he's got to be hurt and he's starting to get to his feet, but that could do it, but already Scorpion's back up and breaks up the count. And I think Ermac may have anticipated that those men were going to be down a little bit longer than they were. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, when I see that kind of thing happen, it just makes me sad because he's supposed to be a role model for his kids, you know? But then he lets those intrusive thoughts win all the time. And it's just sad. Oh, wait a second. Oh my God. Dear Lord, the stank on those strikes that Scorpion just threw to Ermac. I don't know if Ermac is even conscious. Those were like one-hit KO type of shots. As Agent 47 is back up, Ermac's still in the corner. Agent 47 not looking too good, just trying to lick his wounds here a little bit. As this is your main event of Saturday Night Hype, a nice belly-to-belly slam by Scorpion. It's all three of these guys getting as we get into the latter half of the match. Cover by Agent 47 onto Ermac. Scorpion right there to break it up. As these three have put themselves through quite a lot of punishment already. But it takes 3 seconds. It takes 3 whole seconds. And now, oh, over the top rope. Vaulted over the top rope. And oh, what a big boot. Down goes Ermac. 47 doesn't look too good. Scorpion taking advantage. And now Ermac and Scorpion in the ring. Netherrealm DDT, and that has got to do it. All 3 men hurt. 47 is on the outside. The cover under Ermac. 1, 2, 3. And Scorpion is your winner, which means that we are getting a rematch from the Drummer's Call of Autumn Asylum, Scorpion versus Bruce Lee. And the winner of that match will face Ken Masters at Oblivion. And wait a minute, Bruce Lee, who's from the back here, and oh, what a standing sidekick, still frustrated about losing to Scorpion back at Drummer's Call, and a big game of death, as Bruce Lee just striking while the iron was hot, and Scorpion didn't even have a chance to respond. Bruce Lee making a definitive statement here tonight. Damn it, Bruce, you couldn't let the man have it. But I promise you, this is not going to be the end of these two. We will see them face off at ThanksGrappling. But until next week, thank you all for coming to Saturday Night Hype, and we will see you next time. Damn you, Bruce Lee. Stop being such a little hoe. Why do you always gotta be a little hoe, man? I don't understand.